going into the season, it seemed like the consensus was that the round of 16 was going to be the wild card of the tracks, but now we have Talladega, and they've redone part of the Charlotte Roval. So do you kind of foresee that this could be even a bigger wild card round than the last one?
Yeah, I mean, Talladega always is, whichever round that one falls in every year is always a bit unpredictable, and you just don't know what's going to happen. So when you have those races in the round, it's always really important to take advantage of what you would call a traditional weekend, and I think this is certainly one of them. So the way I look at that is that there's more in my hands this weekend than there's going to be at Talladega next weekend, and I would like to take advantage of that and make it to where next week doesn't matter.
And then last week at Bristol, obviously post-race there was just a lot of controversy between fans, media, drivers about what's a good short track race. What were your thoughts, at least driving at the end? Because, for example, Christopher said he had a blast the final stage. What was your impressions just from driving behind the wheel?
I thought it was fun, from my perspective, and it wasn't any different than the last however many Bristol races I've run, except for the spring. I mean, that was the one that was different. Outside of that, I thought it was just like the other events that we've had there the past 9 seasons for me.
Thank you.
Just pure motivation, or just something that you guys like, something with the car?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anything different. I'm still working super hard and have been all year. So, I think we've just had more pace lately than where we were at kind of across the summer, and have been in a really good spot.
This isn't your first rodeo in the playoffs, of course. From an organizational standpoint, do things change? Is there more collaboration between all 4 teams once you get to playoff time?
I don't know. I feel like we operate at a pretty high level all year. It's obviously you try to bring your best stuff and do everything the best you can, but spec parts, right? So your best stuff is the same. So it's I don't know that much really changes. Definitely a higher level of intensity, but that's about it.
And last round, you guys focused on the stage points early on in the round. I imagine that's going to be the same approach considering you start below the cut this time around. But does it make it easier from a standpoint that you're going to start at Kansas as compared to Atlanta like last round at Talladega, which would be next race?
I think it's all the same, right? Like, I think you just have to operate at a high level every week, and everywhere we go has the same opportunity for points. So, I think this round plays out really well for us, probably better racetracks than the previous round for me personally, and hopefully we can just continue to operate at a high level and have a lot of pace.
You finished in the top 10 here the last 4 races, but it's been about 4 months since you guys raced at the True Blue 1.5 mile track. So how do you feel about what you guys have going with 3 mile and a half in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, this has been a good place for me. Vegas has been a good place for me. Homestead, maybe not so much, but I think we're in a good spot. I'm excited to see how our pace is when we unload and kind of go from there. It's kind of hard to predict where things are going to be until we go do it, but I think we're doing pretty well right now.
What is it about Kansas that you like?
It was like the first repave to widen out, which has been a lot of fun. Now it's become super top dominant and pretty difficult to pass, pretty difficult to race at times. But it's just been a fun place for me, and I've had a lot of success here, so I enjoy it.
Everyone calls this the wild card round, but you've got good numbers at Talladega, the Roval. So what race this round do you have circled, I guess, if you were to say?
I mean, I think Talladega is a wild card in the round, right? Like, people point at the Roval, and crazy stuff can happen there, but it's kind of it's just a road course race at this point, right? We're all pretty used to it. So the tweaks they've made there can definitely change that, though. So I'm excited to see what's there. I think this is the most normal race of the round. So we'll wait and see.
Despite having good results the first round, do you still feel like you're being counted out?
That's never going to change, though. So I'm not too caught up in what other people say, and certainly just need to continue to execute at the level that we have been. We could. I don't see that ever changing in my career. It's kind of just par for the course. So just out here doing my thing.
Thank you. Chase Briscoe, he kind of compared this track to Darlington in a sense when it comes to like tire fall off. What you experienced at Darlington, can you take anything from there and maybe apply here?
Yeah, I mean, they're not. I think Kansas tire falls off, but certainly not like Darlington. Darlington gets so slick, but yeah, I mean, I think those just tire management stuff you can always apply, but Kansas typically, like if you have pace, and kind of nets out on the long run. So yeah, we'll see.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Steven Stumpf, Frontstretch.com. Tyler, from the start of the season, the round of 16 was, kind of universally considered to be the wild card round with the tracks in it. But now after Kansas, we have Talladega, which can always be wild, and then we have the Charlotte Roval, the brand new configuration. Do you foresee that this round could be just as big of a wild card as the last 3 races?
Certainly, I definitely do. Just it'll be that much more important to have solid races, and that's kind of what our foundation has been majority of this year. So yeah, it'd be nice to leave here with a win and not have to worry about the next 2, but certainly our strengths has been about getting top 5s and getting top 10s, scoring a lot of points. If we do those things here, it'll put us in a position where we're not overly stressed going into Talladega. Then the Roval, I mean, we went into it last year below the cut and were able to score a lot of points and advance by a good margin leaving there. So all 3 of these tracks I think are good for our team. So a lot can happen, a lot can take place early in the race, and at any point in the race that can really shift the flow of the race. But typically when that's happened this year, at some of these other events that we've normally had a good response to it and been able to come out in the positive throughout those more chaotic races.
Thank you.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.